In this lecture, we are going to expand our knowledge of methods, learning about the parameters that methods can take. Think about the following scenario. You have the computer object and you want to perform an action, like calculating the sum between two numbers. The question is how to pass those numbers to your method in charge of addition. For this, we are going to use method parameters. Let's create a new method for adding two numbers together. We need to specify our return type, and in our case it will be an int. The name of the method will be addition, and inside the parentheses we are going to specify the parameters, which are the values that will be added together. Since we will return an int, a good idea will be to add only integer numbers, not floats or doubles. So let's add here int first number, comma, int second number. Now we created a method that takes two parameters in the form of integers. Notice that the parameters need to be separated with commas. Now we need to add those numbers together. So in the body of the method, I'm going to say first number plus second number. But we know that our method needs to return an integer, so I'm going to add a return statement here. And now our method will return the sum between the two numbers that it takes as parameters. Let's try our method out. In the app class, we are going to call this new method computer1.addition, and let's specify two numbers like 3 and 4. To check if the result is correct, we need to output it somehow in the console. So I'm going to wrap everything into a systemout.println statement, like this. Let's run the code. As you can see, the addition has been performed correctly. An important thing to mention is that we could have had any number of parameters here. You just need to consider the fact that with a bigger number of parameters, the code will become messier and it will be more difficult to read. Also, parameters can be of multiple types, so you can have an int as a first parameter and string as the second parameter. It's up to you based on what you need to achieve in that particular program. The only aspect that you need to adhere to is when you have two parameters defined in your method and you try to use a third one, the compiler will complain. Similarly will happen if you won't use both variables, like I'm showing on the screen. I encourage you to download the code and play with it, so you can experiment with different types of methods definition. In the code you will find a slightly modified version of the method, which includes a third string parameter. In the next lecture we are going to approach the topic of constructors.